Hey guys, it's Jonah here, back back with a beer review this time. Another beer box arrived today, but they're all the same beers, so I'm not going to do an unboxing. And three unboxings in a row, that would be crazy. So I'm going to be doing this beer. It is from a Beer 52 box, but I've left the actual magazine downstairs, and I've locked myself into my man cave up here, so I'm not going downstairs to get it. So I apologise. Um, right, we are doing this beer, Tooth and Claw Run BMC, uh, and I suppose that's meant to be a play on Run DMC, but yeah, from the 80s. Well, they're still around, I think. And this is an American breakfast stout of 5.5%. I'm loving the kind of old school sort of graffiti type hip hop even kind of thing going on with the label. Absolutely fantastic. Um, it's a 330 can, which is a shame. I like those ones. And it says a smooth, dark, rich stout with a background of chocolate and coffee based on an American breakfast. There are underlying hints of smoked bacon, maple syrup combined with coffee. Interesting. Um, and it says it should smell like beach smoke and malt. Magnum, I guess that's the hops in there, not the Private Eye from America, from Honolulu or wherever it was. And there we go. Tooth and Claw Brewing over in, what does that say? Hartlepool, which is up north, up County Durham way. And we have got barley, wheat, and oats in there, in case you're worried about the allergens and that kind of stuff. Don't drive. Make sure you're 18 before you meet the pregnant ladies. And recycle the can, I think that is. I don't know what that end one is. What's that say? Metal, recycle again. We're all about the recycling. Weirdly, it's totally silver can with a label. I would have thought a jet black can would be better, considering it's a stout and all that kind of thing. And this has been in the fridge. I know you're not supposed to put stouts in the fridge, but I'm still worried with these old ones if they're going to explode or not. So another pressure test as usual. Oh, this one didn't. This one just totally opened. And no worries there because, yeah, it didn't explode anywhere, which is fantastic. Right, back with the old tulip type glass. Let's, oh, get this bad boy in. It's quite flat, this one. Interesting. Wow, look at this unbelievably dark head. Wow. So we've got over a finger's head, definitely, but look how dark that bad boy is. Wow. Lovely, lovely, big, well, tight bubbles there, which is a good sign. Some bigger ones on top. And look at that. I don't know what colour that would be. Like a proper, that's one of the darkest heads I've ever seen. Imperial stouts sometimes have dark heads. This is not an imperial stout. Right, let me try and do one of these because it would be rude not to. Whoops. There we go. Actually, because it's hip hop, let's do that. And something like that is going to be the photo. My God, how uncool am I? You're loving Unclejona. You know he's that mad uncle. Yeah, not that weird uncle that comes up and visits you in the wee hours. A nice uncle who gets drunk at Christmas time and does all sorts of weird dad dancing and all sorts of craziness. Let's see if we get anything from this. Wow, dark, dark stuff. The maple thing, there is a bit of sweetness there, but it's all about dark, roasty things. Dark. I wouldn't be surprised if they've maybe toasted some of the oats and stuff as well. real dark, real gnarly. Doesn't smell like bacon. Although we've got a what's it called? Canadian place, Tim Hortons, Canadian place that does bacon on top of pancakes and stuff. You can have it. Can't really recommend it. They're not Canadian. They are very much Asian. Um, and yes, apparently it's a new franchise. Bit expensive. Food. The food's okay actually. It's not too bad. Um, but yeah, service not so good. Maybe that's just my local one. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's the new thing apparently. Canadian kind of food and that kind of weird stuff. Right, anyway, let's dive into this bit. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so already, click like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Really does help out. If you like me, if you like what I'm saying, click like. Wow, look at how that's sticking on the side of my glass. Oh my God, that is so roasty. That's astringent because it's so roasty. My God, it's like chewing on bitumen or gravel or something. Wow, very bitter too. But it's not bitter from the hops, which I can't taste at all. This is totally about the malts. Ridiculously dark, ridiculously roasty. Wow, if you like that, if you like high EBC ratings, my goodness, that's proper dark stuff. Um, we're talking sort of patent malt, and maybe chocolate malt in there too, just the dark ones. Do you know what I mean? Wow, pardon me. There is a touch of sweetness, but it's very much in the background. It plays second fiddle to the just unbelievable bitterness. If you have a licorice sweet, actually, licorice is probably not a good example because it's naturally sweet anyway. But you get that dark sort of taste, and then the sugar hits you second. Imagine that, but half as much again of the sweetness. See if it changes. I wasn't expecting it to be bitter. I like the dark beers where the bitterness comes from the malts because it totally throws a cat among the pigeons. When you've had enough like IPAs and enough pale ales and hazies and all sorts of nonsense, having a proper dark beer, wow. I'm loving the way that is sticking on the side of the glass. Wow. It takes a while for it to ramp up. It's a good two seconds delay from my taste buds going, what's this? What have you done? And then hits you with the bitterness, hits you with the astringency. Um, wow. And I like dark beers. Bit too roasty for me. Um, but maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, it says it's a breakfast stout. So there we go. Run BMC. BMC, as some of you might know, also stands for British Mountaineering Club. You can be a member if you're a rock climber and get insurance. When I was a member, they kept trying to sell me insurance. It's like, dude, if I fall off a mountain, I don't need insurance because I'm going to die. The person at the bottom might die from me falling on top of them, but then they're not going to worry about insurance either. Um, who knows? Wow. I mean, I'm not sure what is breakfast about this. Even if you get Cocoa Pops, which are a delicacy over here in the UK, breakfast cereal that turns the milk chocolatey. It's got a ridiculous amount of cocoa powder in there. Um, Sometimes that chocolate, chocolate can be bitter sometimes. If that lady in your life, or if you like craft chocolate, shall we call it, and you go into one of these places and get the darkest chocolates, the ones that the Indians wouldn't even have, the natives, should I say? Um, yeah, they'd probably give this back to you and go, no, too bitter. Oh, um, oh, interesting. Uh, as we've got to the bottom, we're getting a little bit of sourness now, um, and that's not unusual. Dark beers, um, usually because they're aged more. I don't think this one is, but they sit on them for a little bit, let them develop. Um, and what happens is, and this is brewing Jonna here. Um, yeah, what happens is any Brettanomyces that's just naturally happening in the atmosphere that might have got it, unless your brewing practices are proper on point, and unless you haven't put it in, some people put it in with the yeast. Yeah, some dark beers, and especially if you sit on them for a while, if you age them, they go a little bit sour. But interesting that this one wasn't sour until right at the bottom of the glass. So I'd be quite interested to see what this last mouthful gives. Well, pardon me, dear viewer. Yeah, the other thing is, if you're a real funk farmer, if you like the funk, if you like the sour beers, it's not that sour. it's not even it's not even a kettle sour in my opinion. Um, but interesting that the flavour's there, and I think this is just maybe because a bit of oxygen got in the top of the can, perhaps, with some stuff in it. Wow. Mm. It's good. But weirdly, it's still got a bit of sweetness in it. It's not dry. And they say Brett eats everything, so it really dries out those sort of old complex beers. Um, so maybe that's not what's been happening. It's just bitter, man. Like the Murphys, I'm not bitter. That's what they used to say, isn't it? My goodness. Um, Breakfast, this is definitely not, in my opinion. But the Tooth and Claw Run BMC, uh, part of the Angels from the North box, if you're following with Beer 52 Land, my God, I think these guys, looking at them now, are they meant to be coffee beans or chocolate beans, chocolate pods? The guys, with the gold chains, are they meant to be coffee beans? It doesn't say it's got. Oh, look, they got their Adidas on as well. It does not say that that is part of the ingredients in here. It does not say coffee. But it wouldn't surprise me. People have put weird stuff in beers before. Anyway, I am waxing lyrical because I've drunk 5.5% beer. It wasn't actually too bad. I thought it was good, but wow, really bitter. If that's your bag, go and try and find one of those. This has been Uncle Jonah, your loving uncle, drinking beer with you in the wee hours. Hopefully, you're listening to my dulcet tones, and we'll be back with another beer review real soon.